call me Jen, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have my shelves. They're up. They are real. Look how beautiful they are. My dad and his friend just finished putting them up, and now I'm cleaning, which is why I'm out of breath, because I had to wipe off all the pencil marks on the wall and wipe down all the shelves. And now it's time to put these back up on shelves. All of these babies. But first, I gotta get something cooler on. We're gonna put on a show and we're gonna have fun. Okay, she's ready. What are we gonna do first? This one here that says A to C. Let's do it. Done putting books on the shelves, but I've reached a point where I have no open shelves to put books on. Not that there isn't space, I just need to organize because it currently looks like this. So my middle grade on the top is all fine, and then we have YA fantasy that leaks here, and then regular fantasy that goes along and down. So my plan of attack is I kind of want my fantasies like in this really central area here, which is why I put them there, because obviously that's what I read the most of. That's what I want in my videos, because I do plan on using this as a backdrop for my videos. So I'm kind of trying to decide how I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna have to be in alphabetical order for me for the most part. I know my middle grades aren't. I'm looking at it and it's very much not. I just threw them on there, and that's not even all of them. I have more that I have to deal with, so I think I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to rejig and organize, but that's the plan now, because I would really like to be able to put my Percy's, these really pretty ones from Nerdy Ink. Where are they? Right there. Would love to be able to face them out, or at least face one out would be really pretty because they're gorgeous. But at this point, I don't think I have enough space on these shelves to do that. So now commences organization of some kind. I think I'm gonna just try and like tidy my fantasy and make it look how I want it to look, and then move everything else around it. I think that's my plan. I think it's a good plan. And I just realized I don't think I have enough room for my classics on these shelves. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, because I don't have any other shelves in this place. We're gonna have to see. Hopefully I can make enough room on this last shelf for them. I was originally gonna put them up there, but that's where my middle grade went, apparently. So I don't know what I'm doing. It's fine. Yeah, I'll come back and update you when I have an update. All right, we got a little bit of an update. So this is a little cleaner now. And this stretch here from A to L is in alphabetical order. So we're just gonna keep trucking away. But the more that I like fiddle with it, I'm just happy I have my children out. And it's making me annoyed. Once again, I am just always annoyed whenever I have paperbacks and hardbacks on the same shelves. So like when I have the Chain of Iron and then the rest of Cassandra Clare's books, I have most of them in paperback, but most of them also in hardback. They're like half and half, which makes it look awful on the shelf. So this is why I stacked these like so. So it'll just be a lot of that from now on out. But I got myself some fuel, aka some cookies. And I'm just gonna keep going. I'm here in the corner. I just finished organizing my very tiny section of literary fiction books that I have here, and that literally consists of everything from my one horror book to my historical fiction to my slightly magical to my magical historical fiction. And now I'm watching New Girl. If you can hear Jess sobbing in the background, I'm restarting it because I love New Girl and it's a good show to have on in the background. But I'm nearly done. I keep saying that, I'm nearly done. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to put my classics on this shelf. So I'm gonna need to rethink my life a little bit. So I'm thinking about what I could do. And I might need to get something to go next to my piano where there's already a little, can you see it? I don't know, you can't see it from here. If there's a little case there. I need to get something there to put them all on. A little bookcase. I don't know. If you can tell, I'm starting to fade. Almost done. All right, it is 11:16 and I've got it done. And now I'm improvising with my classics, putting them in my kitchen. So that's fun. I also have some boxes of books that I'm getting rid of because I just couldn't get rid of them when I was packing apparently, and now I'm done with them. So maybe I can find some more to get rid of. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. These three bother me so much. These three little mass markets, they bother me, so maybe I'll just torch them, but who knows? I think I'm gonna call it in a bit because I'm tired. It's a lot. It's so much. And I realized, I don't know if you could tell in one of those time lapses there, but I realized I was missing an entire box of books, which are still at home. My mom found them. An entire box of books. Because I'm missing Gideon the Ninth, because I only have Harrow. I'm missing Andrew Stewart's book and all of my Wheel of Time books. So I'm hoping that I left enough space that I can squeeze those books in. I think I did, because there's a lot of like leaners like over here that I can put up and then put more. There's also a few that I've faced out that I would like to keep facing out. Especially like the Starless Sea and Priory, but I do that so then I have extra space when I buy more books. Oh, and also Psalm, because Psalm is my favorite book of the year. And I managed with Percy way up there. I managed to turn him out. I'm so happy. But yeah, I alphabetized my middle grade, squished it all in there, and it's just a little bit of leakage there. So we're doing it. We're doing it. I think I'm going to just clean up now and then do the rest of my books tomorrow. But this is my classics, my Penguin Classics collection, which I think kind of looks cool up there. And when you have space above your cupboards, put books there. Anyways, I think I will do an official tour tomorrow once everything is kind of completed. So for now, good night. Hello friends, it is now the next day. I'm currently waiting for my lunch to be ready. So I figured, why not start this little tour of my bookshelves? My place is still an absolute hot mess. We have the crumpled boxes there and some extra just recycling that needs to go out. And behind me, we have more boxes, but I have all my books that I want out on the shelves. So let's do it. So we're gonna start here in my kitchen because this is an easy little section to do. As y'all can tell, I put the remaining books, all my classics that I have, up here. Well, not all of them. I put all my pretty ones up here. I put all the others in that little case there and got rid of some. So starting from this end, we have my entire Penguin paperback collection. I think they have a proper name, but I'm just going to call them my Penguin paperbacks. And they are all the old version because now the font on the spines is different on the new versions, and the little penguin guy isn't in an orange circle anymore. So these are all the older editions of the Penguin paperbacks, but of course I've got it in alphabetical order with all my Janes. And then I have some Brontes. We got Anne and Charlotte. And we have a Dickens, a Wilkie Collins, some George Eliot, Elizabeth Gaskell, Tom Hardy, Henry James, and then I have Christopher Marlowe's plays, and I have Samuel Richardson's Pamela, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and Oscar Wilde's A Picture of Dorian Gray. And then you move over, and here we have the selection of, like, I don't know, these were the classics that are available at Indigo, and they're beautiful. Each one of them is just a little special. Right? Absolutely gorgeous because, as you can see, more Janes, because I collect many Janes, more Charlottes. We have a Fyodor Dostoevsky, we have a James Joyce, another Oscar Wilde, and then we have these two extra little classics, two different Charlottes, or two different Brontes, I should say. And then, of course, we move right over into the cloth-bound Penguin copies, which I have. I want to collect more of these. These are just absolutely stunning on the shelf. And up here, I got two Janes, and I got a Little Woman and Lady Chatterley's Lover. I have a beautiful copy of Adam Bede. I have Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca. I have a Pride and Prejudice. I own a lot of Jane Austen books. I have a Dickens Tale of Two Cities, and then I have a Arthur Conan Doyle, and a Jane Austen volume, the first. This is her Juvenilia, part of her Juvenilia. This is volume 1. I do want to get the next two in this exact edition because these are written, I will show you, these are written in her own handwriting, which is really, really cool. But yeah, that goes back up there. And I have A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and then a massive, complete collection of Arthur Conan Doyle. And then you slide over, and again, we got some more Austens. And then we have my stack of Bloomsbury, or Broadview. These are not Bloomsbury, these are Broadview collections. These are mostly what I studied in school, and there's even more down underneath the lip of my cabinet because I had to stack them this way because they were too heavy. They kept falling over. From the top, we have Wollstonecraft. I did them in alphabetical order from the bottom up, apparently. But yeah, these are all of my school books that I did end up reading. And then, of course, we scooch over one last time, and we have some more beautiful classics. I have Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca again, even though I didn't like the book. This is still very pretty. And then I have a Ella Montgomery. This is The Blue Castle, which should probably go with my Anne's, but that's okay. And then I have 4 of these, which are more Penguin copies, and they are like this kind of edition. They are the, I believe, the match to the cloth bound, but are paperback instead. So I have 4 of those. And of course, my box set of beautiful Anne of Green Gables that my friend got me. Alright, so besides those, my other classics went into this lovely friend, and that makes sense because these are all a little bit more of my, like, not as pretty classics. So that's where they are. So, you know, I also have all these old tribunes which are from my university. It's our literary mag that I was in and helped do, and my friend did near the end. These 2 were hers that she did. And then I have a bunch of Christie. I have one random Chaucer's Tale. That's weird. Let's put you somewhere else. Some Chaucer's Canterbury Tales snuck in there that I didn't notice. Agatha Christie's, of course, a little bit more of Christie here, and then just like 1984 and North and South and Edgar Allan Poe and the such. And then there is where we have a little bit more of Arthur Conan Doyle and Victor Hugo's Les Mis and some other ones. Again, another Jane Austen, and these 2 here at the end are Jane Austen, like, memoirs. Very fun. But okay, I've held off long enough. It's time for the big boy. All right, so as you can see, I moved my table desk situation, so like my background is my books, which is going to be great for like video calls and when I'm playing D&D and all that kind of stuff.
So that's my background now, which is kind of nice because then I don't just get distracted by staring at this wall that is just glorious. I'm obsessed with this wall. Just look at her. Oh my God. Okay, well, from back here, I will give you the rundown of what everything is. So the top is my middle grades, which leaks down just to about here where it ends and starts with Children of Blood and Bone, and that is my YA section, which runs all the way along and goes to about there, and then it starts again with adult fantasy and continues along this way and all the way to the end of that, which is fantastic and I love it. And then this last shelf here, we have literary fiction, and then we have romances, and then we have YA contemporary all the way to the end.
All right, I'm gonna do this to the best of my abilities. I do apologize for any shaky cam. I am holding my camera with my hands, or my phone with my hands, but I will try to be as steady as possible. But up here, we start with our middle grade. We got Eva Evergreen, we got some Rick Riordan Presents, we got some old books of mine like Ink Spell and Ink Death. We got the Winter House books, and it goes on to Maggie Morton. We have C.S. Lewis, and we have Tristan Strong, Hatmakers, Paula Santiago. Then we get into the wondrous portion of my shelf, which is the Percy Jackson books. Look at my boy! And then we have the Heroes of Olympus, and we have the Trials of Apollo, and the Kane Chronicles, and the beginnings of the Magnus Chase, and then that series. And then if we come all the way back down over here, we have Keeper of the Lost Cities, and we have John Stevens books, and then the end of the middle grade with Nevermore and Notebooks. Now we start into the YA fantasy section, which has, of course, Realmbreaker out loud and proud because it's my favorite. And then we keep going on. We get some Bardugo. Yes, you will see a few instances where genre and age range don't match. And that's because I wanted to keep the similar authors all together. So Bardugo's books are here. And this continues. We got all of the Graceling Realm books. And then we start my Cassie Clare collection, which I stacked like this because the look of paperbacks and hardbacks all along looked funny. And this also saves more space. So all of the Cassie Clare books I own. And then we continue into the Hunger Games collection. And of course we have Legendborn, another one of my favorites, and Greybearer and Furyborn and all those. And then of course my beloved Kingdom of Back over here. And then if we continue back over here, we have Serpent and Dove, we got Gearbreakers and Sabriel, and then we got Margaret Owen's books. We have the Scythe series, and we have all my Emma in the Ashes books, and we have Laini Taylor's work, and then we have the end here with the last one, which is the Bring Me Their Hearts by Sarah Wolfe, which I have yet to read. And then we start with Half a King by Joe Abercrombie. We start the adult fantasy section. So we have all of these. We have Bear and the Nightingale, we have the Bard's Blade, and the Coward. This is one of my favorite covers. It is so beautiful. And then we continue on. Of course, we have Psalm in beautiful outward-facing fashion. And then we have all of these lovely friends. We got a stack of Sarah Beth Durst and Robin Hobb, Frank Herbert, and Neil Gaiman's and Terry Pratchett's Good Omens. Because this is what happens when you have so many different mass market paperbacks. They get stacked on top of each other. And then we have Kings of the Wild and the beautiful Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. I'm so excited to read this. I think it's going to be my next big fantasy read because I just keep seeing it everywhere. And I just want to read him. Then we have these continuing, and then we have this big space in here, which is going to be where my currently missing Robert Jordan books are. They are at home with my parents, and they will be stacked in here. I have 3 of them missing, so it'll probably be up to there because they're quite thick boys. And then we have The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin and the 5th season. And then we have Hall of Smoke, and then of course the Greenbone Saga at the end. And let us venture to this corner once again. Here we have the Game of Thrones books, and we have Starless Sea collection. I have 3 of them, and then I have the Night Circus. Then I have a spot for Gideon here, and then I have Vox Machina Kith and Kin, which I'm so excited to read. Some Naomi Novik, and then of course the iconic She Who Became the Sun. We got my Brando Sando collection, which is why I mentioned the age range thing with Leigh Bardugo before, because I've
These two are YA, but because it's Brando Sando, I wanted them all together. And so finally, he's all together on my shelves. And then we have this amazing book stamp thing that my friend got me for Christmas last year. And I absolutely adore it. So it's here, ready to be accessed, ready for us every day. And then, of course, I have my Victoria Schwab collection, which is arguably very, very small with only 6 of her books, but it's great. It looks lovely on the shelf whenever I have hers because it's like all reds and whites. And then, of course, Addie LaRue is different, but it's black and gold, so it goes. And we have Priory of the Orange Tree, which is my favorite to have facing out. It is so beautiful. I love it. And then we continue. This is one of my favorite fantasy books of the year, The Jasmine Throne. I absolutely love it. Cannot wait for the sequel. And then we have a stack of Tolkien and Name of the Wind, which brings us to my Tolkien collection, which I think I'm going to be removing these 4 from it, because I've decided that because this is a full bind-up of all 3 novels, and this is all 3 novels in the covers I actually like. I do love these covers, but they don't match. So I think I'm just going to get rid of these 4 to clear up more space on my shelves and thus shrink my Tolkien collection a little bit more, but we shall see. Then I have, of course, the Chronicle of the Bitch Queen trilogy, 2 of which I have read, 1 of which I have started very briefly right before I moved. And then I have the rest of my fantasy novels. And then in this corner, I have my graphic novels because I didn't have anywhere else to put them. So they are sitting here. And last but not least, let's get to this last row here. So this last little chunk here, actually all of my literary fiction fit right in this section, in this lovely clip here. So we have everything from historical novels to Greek retellings to horror to vaguely Scottish magic ones to, you know, just everything you could ask for in this literary section. And then we get all the way into my romance books, which is very fun. These 3 still bother me because they're sitting up and above, but for now they're gonna stay there. And we continue, and of course we have stuff like Beach Read by Emily Henry. I do have another Emily Henry that I'm gonna have to squeeze in. Oh God, I'm gonna have to see if I can make room for it, but that is currently at home. Then I have my Talia Hibberts and some Sophie Kinsellas, some Christina Lorenz, you know, Casey McQuiston, we love her, and some Beth O'Leary, tons of Beth O'Leary, and it goes on. And then we start with The Lovely War. We start into the YA ones. We have all of these, which I love, and then we have my giant collection of Sarah Dessen, which I realized I have more in one of those boxes there, which I have to figure out what I'm going to do with because they don't really fit now in here. So maybe I should just take a knee and get rid of my Sarah Dessens for once and for all, because they are the books that I loved as a kid, but I don't think I will ever read them now. And we have my tiny collection of John Green. I used to have a bigger one, but these are the only 2 that I wanted to keep because they are hardback. And then we have, of course, the Cynthia Hand book, and then the ones that she wrote with other people, another Emily Henry, and then we have just the ending of like YA stuff. And then we have my collection of Sarah Sutton books, which is looking pretty sexy in this corner here. And of course we end the collection with Marcus Zuzak's The Book Thief.
So yes, my friends, that is my bookshelf and my bookshelf tour. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to sit back in my chair here. I love this view. So this is gonna be my like view of any kind of video conferencing and everything. It's gonna be this beautiful, gorgeous wall of books. I'm so happy with it. It couldn't be better. And the fact that I managed to fit my classics in my kitchen, even better. This is just a place for books. That's what this is. So, oh, so happy. But yes, my friends, this was kind of just a random extra video that I ended up filming. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did. And I will catch you in another video very, very soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.